In Court on TKO8 Television is brought to you by Campbell Bonding Company. Even the best of us make mistakes, so when trouble finds you, trust Campbell Bonding Company to help you through what can be a confusing and sometimes frightening experience. Jim, Robert, and Cole Campbell work as a family to offer your family understanding and compassion during a very difficult time. Campbell Bonding Company can help get your family back together quickly and confidentially. And in every step of the process, they're there for you. In times of trouble, let their family help your family. Campbell Bonding Company, 870-741-1138.
Two 2016-38 State of Arkansas versus John Sullivan. Mr. Sullivan also has cases 2015-176 and 2015-205. Mr. Sullivan is for arraignment in case 2016-38 on charges of possession of controlled substance, methamphetamine, Class D felony, and drug paraphernalia, separate Class D felony.
Your Honor, I represent my client on the other charges, and on these, he has completed an application.
The court is granting the appointment of the public defender's office to represent him. On the charges, you have the drug charges I read off. How does the defendant plead?
Wait for reading the charge, enter a plea of not guilty. And Judge, I do have a collateral issue to address with the court.
Let's see where we are. Plead not guilty noted on this new charge. The court's setting it for trial. Our arrest date shows to be December 3rd, 2015. The court will set it for trial during the week of September 19th. Pre-trial is set for August 19th, and a reappearance is set for May 13th. Those will be the dates on that case. Other cases, the other two cases are set for trial in March 2015-176 should reflect he's set for trial during the week of March 7th. 2015-205 is set for the week of April 18th. We have a are we just going to trial on this this first one?
Judge, I anticipate that Mr. Carter and I are going to have it wrapped up, but what I was going to ask, and that's where some of this confusion has while my client's in custody, I was going to ask to continue this, Judge, to the scheduling order, have it track with the scheduling order in case number 15-205, which puts us in trial the week of April 18th. And in light of the new case, we knew this one was coming. We've been waiting for this to do a wrap-up, Judge. And I would just ask to continue the 176 matter and put it on the same scheduling order as the 205. And then I think by that trial date, that date of plea or plea rejection of April 15th in the 205 case, we'll probably have this case ready for disposition.
We'll put it down as continued as an excluded period. This is referring to 2015-176 is continued as an excluded period to a new trial date of April 18th, which is the same trial date as already exists in 2015-205. I'll set both of them for pretrial hearing on March 4th. And what's your collateral issue on the new charge?
Judge, if you recall, the client was arrested back on December 3rd, and they didn't have the charges and such. And we had different court dates in Division 4 between the two cases. He was given other dates by the jail. Subsequently, an FTA got issued. I think we've got it all sorted out, especially now that the new case has actually been filed and he's been arraigned on it. I'm going to ask the court to just reinstate the existing bond. It's my understanding, in light of all the confusion that's transpired in these cases, his bondsman, Mr. Finley, is here today and is willing to stay on the bond. And I just asked the court to allow his existing bond to stand for all the cases.
What is it?
Judge, let me explain the little hiccup that they're going to have. The state, I have just signed amended informations, and we are charging Mr. Sullivan with failure to appear in both case 2015-176 and 2015-205. So I think it'd be easier at this point if Mr. Russo explained his reasons that he was not here to a jury as opposed to the court.
Well, I'm showing that he hasn't missed a jury. His jury is not till March 7th.
Well, understand that.
So how did he not show up for a jury trial?
No, I said you could explain it to the jury. He didn't show up for court 2 weeks ago.
And Judge, recalling the court's attention, he was taken into custody and was here, and he's been given a multitude of conflicting court dates that, between all his various cases, including that he was taken into custody in December, Judge, if you look at some of the dates that he didn't show up for, he's been bouncing around like a ping pong ball. In light of that, Judge, the state can charge him, but I'd ask the court to allow his existing bonds, especially if his bondsman's willing to stay on the bond, because I think his bondsmen understand some of the confusion that's going on with his court dates as well. Because he's been given dates by the jail on this new case, he was given dates in one case, another case, and that was my purpose of trying to get everything now on the one scheduling order so he can get out on the bond. He's maintained contact with the office, he's made appointments with the office, and I just think this has just been a little bit of a paperwork nightmare, Judge.
Judge, all we have to do is look at case 2015-205. He appeared in court on October 30th, and Mr. Hancock was there, and in open court he was told to show up November 6th. On November 6th, he did not show up. A warrant was issued. He was picked up and appeared in court on November 20th, 2015, told to reappear on January 15th, 2016. Same order as was issued in 2015-176. And then on January 15th, he did not appear.
And Judge, If I may. May I approach, Your Honor?
Well, what I'm looking at in that same vein, and not taking a side on this, I'm just simply saying the record reflects that he did not appear on November 6th, as Mr. Carter said. There's a note about a doctor's excuse or something. On November 10th, an order was entered that withdrew the alias warrant and ordered him to reappear on November 20th. On November 20th, the court entered this scheduling order that's currently in effect. He appeared on that date, and that's when he was told to come in on January 15th.
And Judge, this is the problem we had is we didn't send him this order, we sent him this order. So when he appeared here, he was told to be here on this date.
Right.
But we told him on his reappearance date he didn't have to be in court till February 5th. And that's our fault, but that was the problem we had. And the order we sent, was 2015-176, was supposed to, on this order, it was said for him to have the same dates. And that's why, after we've had the chance to sort through this, that's why his bondsman's willing to stay on the bond. And like I said, Judge, I apologize for the confusion, but we always tell our clients to go by the scheduling orders.
Mr. Sullivan seems to have a lot of confusion in his life.
Well, he didn't appear on the 5th. You sent him notice to be here on the 5th. I think that's what Mr. Carter's complaining about, is that, if he was told to be there on the 5th by you, and that's the reason he didn't show up on the 15th of January, if he's told to be there on the 5th of February, didn't appear on the 15th of January because y'all gave him the scheduling order that gave that as the reappearance date, he didn't show up on that date. I think that's the problem Mr. Carter's having. He didn't show up on either date.
Well, Judge, I don't know when he was taken into custody, but I believe on the 5th was he in custody with the sheriff's office at that point?
I don't have any record of that, but he was arrested on December 3rd on the new charge. Bonded out.
No, he was picked up on February 8th and then had an 8.1 in front of Judge Kirkpatrick on February 9th.
He made bond after being arrested on December 3rd, and then he was next arrested on the warrant on February 8th.
And Judge, does it show what court date he was given on that bond when he made bond?
Let's see. January 8th. Is the date that's given there.
And Judge, as much time as we spent looking through the files and sorting through this, that's exactly my point as far as the confusion. And the big issue is if his bondsman's willing to stay on the bond, Judge, we have sufficient surety, and obviously he hasn't fled or run anywhere. They picked him up right after the court issued the warrant. So in light of that, Judge, if Mr. Finley is willing to stay on the bond, I just ask the court to allow that existing bond to stand.
Are you're all going to pursue?
I signed it. I just have to march it downstairs and file it.
Sir, on the check, I talked to your checked if I was on the docket, and I went to Mr. Russo's office.
You talked to who?
You got it right there. I showed up with me and my wife, and I also went to Mr. Russo's office, but he
On what day was that?
January 8th.
Was that the day we were in court?
And Judge, recalling the court's attention, if I remember correctly, there was no paperwork. And that was what part of the confusion was, is this court had issued the warrant. He had been arraigned. Well, he hadn't been arraigned, but he was given the 8.1. But then he was told to be here on the 8th, and there was nothing. There was no paperwork. And that's what, I mean, it's been a mess.
It doesn't explain the 5th. The 5th is open and shut, no matter how you look at it.
Yeah, that's just a misunderstanding and confusion. That's all I can say. I can't make an excuse other than that. I can say I will be at court no matter what. And I have a job and everything like that.
You do? Where's your job?
I've been working at Barrett Plastics through Synergy.
Mm-hmm. Where is that located?
On industrial.
Oh, at Barrett's Plastics?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Oh.
Judge, let me point out, all three of these are drug charges. I think Mr. Sullivan has a serious drug problem that affects his ability to follow court orders.
I've been thinking, I mean...
All right, let's... All right, the court's decision is to allow him to be released on his previous bond on the old charges, and it'll cover the. I guess it's covering the new charge as well now. So he'll be releasable on that bond. Your next appearance in court is March 4th.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I don't want any confusion about that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And Judge, his bondsman's here and is agreeable to stay on the bond.
All right.
Judge, if Mr. Sullivan could repeat the day for the court so we make sure he understands.
March 4th?
At what time?
9.
8:30.
8:30. All right. That's the court's decision on bond.
Even the best of us make mistakes, so when trouble finds you, trust Campbell Bonding Company to help you through what can be a confusing and sometimes frightening experience. Jim, Robert, and Cole Campbell work as a family to offer your family understanding and compassion during a very difficult time. Campbell Bonding Company can help get your family back together quickly and confidentially. And in every step of the process, they're there for you. In times of trouble, let their family help your family. Campbell Bonding Company, 870-741-1138.
Arkansas Orthopedics and Sports Medicine now offers you 2 orthopedic surgeons, both trained in all the latest surgical techniques. Dr. Sedani and Dr. Cutler specialize in all forms of orthopedic problems and injuries, from torn rotator cuffs to joint replacement, even sprains or broken bones. Dr. Sedani and Dr. Cutler will see you quickly and with the highest standard of efficiency. The entire staff of Arkansas Orthopedics works to keep you moving. Call today for an appointment. Call Dr. Sedani and Dr. Cutler in Harrison at 741-8289.
Razor, Ranger, Sportsman, Ace. There's a Polaris to match your passion. Looking for a machine that works, hunts, and plays just as hard as you do? That's Ranger. Go ahead, tackle the toughest jobs, haul the biggest crews, bring home the best value. Ranger gives you the versatility to do it all.
Many things have changed over the years, and so has auto body repair. Even though Ozark Auto Body has been in business for over 30 years, they continue to change with the times. They believe protecting the environment is important and have done so by using environmentally friendly waterborne paint from PPG. This aligns with the technology used by original manufacturers and gives you a lifetime limited warranty. Quality PPG waterborne paint, ASC certified personnel, plus 24-hour towing service. Ozark Auto Body in Harrison, always taking pride in excellence.
Case 2016-45, State of Arkansas versus James Rash. This case is for arraignment on a charge of commercial burglary, breaking or entering, 9 counts, theft of property, and criminal mischief in the first degree, all charged as an habitual offender. Court is making the appointment of the Public Defender's Office to represent Mr. Rash. On those charges, how does he now plead?
Your Honor, we'll waive formal reading of the charge, enter a plea of not guilty. However, Your Honor, I'd like my client transported over because we may be able to reach a disposition this afternoon for Mr. Rash.
All right. So I'll put him in the stack of cases to be brought over for the afternoon session. This would be a Division III case.
Your Honor, Mr. Rash is in the custody of the Missouri Department of Corrections, and with the court's indulgence, since the state went through the expense to bring him over here, I'd like to try to resolve this today.
All right. So let's just hold this. I'll decide on setting it for reappearance after we at least attempt that.
Thank you,
Your Honor. So, Mr. Rash, you're going to be brought over for this afternoon session of court. We'll take your case up at that time.
Okay, thanks.
15-238, State of Arkansas versus Stephen Miller, also 2015-147 and 2015-191, same defendant.
Your Honor, Mr. Miller's cases, he's got one, and I don't know if the scheduling order has been changed. On the 15-191-4, it's a, in a 15-147-4, they're on the scheduling order for trial the week of March 7th.
Yes.
Your Honor, recalling the court's attention, there was some delays in getting him arraigned in Baxter County, but that's now happened. One of the things I don't have, Judge, yet is plea offers in all these cases and the Baxter County cases. It's my understanding those are forthcoming now that he's been arraigned.
I made an offer across the board.
Including Baxter?
Yeah, I made it in Baxter, and then when he was here on the 5th, I renewed it for our cases.
I don't have it in the file.
That's because it was oral.
Okay. Judge, what I'm going to ask is that this be set, that this trial date be bumped until the scheduling order in 238. And that way I can get everything consolidated,
Judge, I'm not opposed to that. We have enough matter set for the week of March 7th as it is.
So this would be what you're asking is in the two older cases to have them continued until the trial setting in May.
That's correct, Judge.
Right. Okay, The two Miller cases, 2015 147, 2015 191, are continued at defense request for trial during the week of May 16th.
Your Honor, I do have a request. I know the prosecutor is not enthused about this, but I would like my client screened for drug court, at least have a screening.
Judge, I rarely exercise my prerogative, and nobody actually technically can get screened without my permission, and that's just a waste of our staff's time.
Judge, I thought part of the drug court process was due process and having proper representation, and now that we have a defense attorney on drug court, I think that I should be at least allowed to ask to explore all options for my client.
And you have.
And I'm asking the court to have him screened.
I'm the gatekeeper, and I'm opposed.
Last time I heard, Judge, is the guy with the title of judge is the gatekeeper.
Not for drug court.
It traditionally has not been the case. We look to the prosecutor's office to recommend people for drug court. And I'm not going to change that in this case. So that you'll have maybe at the next staffing, if you can put together a better argument for why we ought to consider that, we can look at it. But I don't think that's probably appropriate to this.
Judge, I will. I'll bring it up at the next staffing and bring it up to the drug court staff.
Yeah, let's. I'm going to have to be convinced.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. That's what I'm looking for.
On the scheduling order, it'd be March 4th. Okay.
Now that's on. That'll be the reappearance of.
Hey, when's our next drug court meeting?
February. Okay. Steve, the next drug court.
Well, we have them down for April 1st. If we're going by the scheduling order in two. Okay, then we got to switch what we have here. Okay. On March 4th will be the reappearance and the pretrial date for each of these.
Steve, your next court date is going to be March 4th, and our next drug court staffing is February 24th. So I'm going to bring your cases up to the drug court staff.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, you may be excused, sir.
Introducing two new families of ATVs from Yamaha. The all-new Grizzly and Kodiak 700. The new Grizzly offers increased power and performance to deliver more exploration and more adventure. The new Kodiak 700 features legendary Yamaha reliability for more productivity and more value. The all-new Grizzly and Kodiak 700 ATVs, all with more than ever before.
We moved here in June, 18 years ago, and had not been in the house more than a week, and I popped my hip out of joint. And that was my first experience. And of course, the ER saved my life. I had an aortic aneurysm, and it had leaked all night. As soon as they brought me in here, they knew exactly what it was and exactly what to do.
Well, I had some problems getting stuff done. Finally ended up at Dental Creations and was very pleased with the way everything worked out. And the lab technicians, I mean, they came out and wanted to make sure everything was looking good, and everything turned out great. If I'd have known back then what I know now, I would have went to Dental Creations first.
Dental Creations on the Square in Harrison, 870-204-6974.
When you support a locally owned pharmacy, you're contributing to the growth of the community. The dollars you spend stay right here to support our local community. Health Mart pharmacies are locally owned pharmacies. There's one right here. Health Mart pharmacists have a personal commitment to their communities because, just like you, they support their community. Health Mart pharmacies are locally owned and hometown proud. Harrison is a Health Mart town. Sam Alexander Pharmacy on the square downtown. Health Mart, caring for you and about you.
All right, court will call to Boone County criminal case CR 2016-17, State of Arkansas versus Kaylee Mays. Court has a application for the Public Defender's Office. The court is making the appointment of the Public Defender's Office to represent Miss Mays. I will, just a second. All right. Mr. Carter, do you have a specific date of arrest?
That's what I'm looking for, Judge. I know it's between December 24th and December 30th. But
I was going to say December 30th is the only thing I see indicated by the affidavit, but she may have already been in custody. That's listed as December 30th of 2015. If we can get more specific information, we'll do it. Apparently, she was arrested on an outstanding warrant out of Newton County and subsequently placed in custody of Boone County. Ms. Mays is for arraignment on charges of breaking and entering, Class D felony, forgery in the second degree, Class C felony, 2 counts, and theft of property, Class A misdemeanor, 3 counts. On those charges, how does she now plead?
Waive formal reading of the charge, enter a plea of not guilty.
This case is on the Division 3 docket of Judge Putnam. I'll order her to reappear on February 26th.
Thank you, Your Honor. Your Honor, I understand that she's being held on an alias, no bond. I'm assuming that since she's Judge Putnam's, this court's going to have her take up the issue of bond in front of Judge Putnam?
Yes.
Okay.
She also has Newton County case 2015-54-4. That's not before this court. I'm just relaying that information.
Newton what?
Newton County 2015-54-4.
Has she been arraigned on that charge, or do you know?
Judge, I have no information on that case.
She was arraigned on December the 23rd of 2015.
Okay.
And she has a scheduling order in place with her next reappearance date on May the 13th of 2016.
Thank you.
Judge, at that being the case, then her arrest date was at least December 23rd.
All right. We'll make.
The date on that case shows to be August the 10th.
Oh, but on her arrest date on.
In the Newton County.
In the new. I understand, but the arrest date on this then should be listed on the Boone County case should be listed as what'd you say? December 23rd. All right.
Ms. Mays, your trial judge is Judge Putman, and he's the one that issued the alias warrant no bond for your arrest. You'll have to appear before him next Friday to take up the issue of bond. And Judge Webb here has set your court date for next Friday to take up that issue. All right.
That'll be your next appearance in court. If you get out on bond, you need to be aware that you have an appearance date in Newton County Circuit Court, probably meeting here on May 13th. You may be excused. It's called 2016-40, State of Arkansas versus Gary Dotson. Mr. Dotson is for arraignment. You're for arraignment on a charge of theft of property, Class C felony, terroristic threatening in the first degree, a separate Class D felony, charged as habitual offender. Have you made any arrangements to be represented by an attorney, Mr. Dotson?
Your Honor, I have, since being incarcerated on these charges, I've submitted a form for the public defender's office to represent me. I have yet to meet with the public defender's office representative, but I have made, ready the form to be represented by the public defender's office.
Do you know if it's been transmitted to the public defender's office?
No, sir.
Okay. Well, that may be why they didn't know that you were applying. So, they now know, and I'm confident you'll have somebody being in contact with you. I'm going to, at this time, I'm going to appoint the pub. Well, I guess I should wait to review the affidavit. But Mr. Dotson, I'm entering a plea of not guilty on these charges on your behalf. This matter's on my docket, so I'm going to go ahead and set it by scheduling order. The arrest date appears to be February 4th of 2016, and I'm setting it down for trial September 19th, for a pretrial August 19th, and for a reappearance on May 13th. All of those will be in a written scheduling order that will be filed in the case file. You may be excused at this time.
All right, thanks, sir.
You bet.
The best of us make mistakes, so when trouble finds you, trust Campbell Bonding Company to help you through what can be a confusing and sometimes frightening experience. Jim, Robert, and Cole Campbell work as a family to offer your family understanding and compassion during a very difficult time. Campbell Bonding Company can help get your family back together quickly and confidentially. And in every step of the process, they're there for you. In times of trouble, let their family help your family. Campbell Bonding Company, 870-741-1138.
Crystal clear mountain streams, river rapids, and rolling hills with endless valleys. The beauty of the Ozarks we often take for granted. At Magnus Toyota, we never underestimate the value of our customers. As a third-generation family-owned business, Magnus Toyota has been operating here in the Ozarks for over 50 years. When we make a new deal, we make a new friend. Stop in and visit us today and see why our customers say we're the best. Magnus Toyota, your hometown Toyota dealer on Highway 65 North in Harrison.
Attention safe drivers, keep your vehicle safe with new tires from Worley Tire. Stop in and visit with our friendly and knowledgeable staff and get the tires that are best for your car, truck, or SUV. You can even shop with us online at WorleyTire.com. Worley Tire also features batteries, alignments, tire rotation, and repair. Visit us on the web and like us on Facebook for the latest deals and specials that can keep you and your family safe. Worley Tire, 804 East Stevenson in Harrison.
When you practice your home fire drill, make sure you stay low under the smoke. Make sure you practice home fire drills with your family.
Introducing two new families of ATVs from Yamaha. The all-new Grizzly and Kodiak 700. The new Grizzly offers increased power and performance to deliver more exploration and more adventure. The new Kodiak 700 features legendary Yamaha reliability for more productivity and more value. The all-new Grizzly and Kodiak 700 ATVs, all with more than ever before.
Calling Newton County case CR 2016-8, State of Arkansas versus James Floyd Henderson.
Judge, on behalf of the prosecutor's office, I've presented the court with an order from the Deputy Prosecuting Attorney for Newton County. The state is going to null pros or withdraw the charges against Mr. Hendrickson. Henderson.
All right. Mr. Henderson, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
And your attorney's here in court. The court has been presented with an order that dismisses the charge against you based on a motion to null pros filed by the state. On that basis, the court will grant the motion and the case will be dismissed.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You bet. 2016-41, State of Arkansas versus Adriel Moran. Mr. Moran, you're before the court today for arraignment. The charges against you are battery in the first degree, a Class B felony, endangering the welfare of a minor in the first degree, with an enhancement provision for committing a felony in the presence of a child. A felony with a firearm is also charged. That's another sentence enhancement provision. Have you made any arrangements to be represented by an attorney?
No, sir. I haven't had enough time.
Okay. The file reflects that you were arrested on January 27th. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And you bonded out and haven't had a chance in that?
I've made a few calls, but due to many surgeries and going back and forth to Springfield 2 or 3 times a week, I really haven't had enough time. I would ask the court for a couple more weeks.
Well, these are pretty serious charges, so
yes, sir.
I think you need to take steps to get it done as promptly as possible, because you really do need representation in a matter this serious. Court is on the charges against you. How do you now plead?
Not guilty.
I'm going to note the plea of not guilty. This matter is on the Division 3 docket of Judge Putman. I'm going to order you to reappear on February 26th in front of Judge Putman.
Yes, sir.
It would be good if you could have it done by then.
Yes.
And if you don't have it done, if you encounter difficulty in securing counsel, the court would just simply advise you to, that you always have the right to an attorney, which means that if you can't afford to hire an attorney,
yes, sir,
then you're entitled to have an attorney appointed for you, and you need to fill out an application to the Public Defender's Office in order to get appointed counsel.
Yes, sir.
All right. The point being that it's pretty important that you get that done as soon as possible. All right?
Yes, sir.
Your next appearance in court will be next Friday in front of Judge Putman.
Thank you.
All right. You may be excused.
Judge, one thing I'll let the court and Mr. Moran know is that next week the state intends to address the issue of any no contact order. And so he needs to come prepared to address that issue.
What that means is that normally in any battery case, the court will take steps to put in place a no contact order, not just this court, but Judge Putman's court as well, a no contact order with respect to any victim. And so you need to come prepared to address that issue in front of Judge Putman.
Okay.
And usually that no contact order is imposed as a part of a bond. And that's how it'll get addressed.
I was addressed that when I bonded out of jail about the no contact order, that I was to have no contact with the victim in the case.
All right. All right.
Then I guess we don't need to address it, but if he does hire an attorney between now and then, the attorney certainly has a right to address it.
Thank you.
And the state's going to be prepared for it.
All right. You may be excused. 2015-162, Anthony Briley.
Your Honor, I'm still waiting on my income fund to come in. They had some trouble with my routing on my check, so I had to order new checks and send that down there to them. But it should be here today or Monday when I'll hire my attorney.
As a consequence, you don't have an attorney yet?
Yes.
Ooh.
Judge's case is set for pretrial on March 18th.
We really need to get you.
Yes, sir. We're going to go talk to him today.
Who are you talking to?
Johnny Nichols.
Right. Well, just be aware that your case is set down for the trial in the week of April 18th, and your pretrial hearing is set for March 18th. So, it's very critical that you get the attorney involved.
Yes,
so
Your
there's
Honor.
Adequate time to prepare.
Yes, Your Honor.
That'll be your next appearance in court. It'll be March 18th.
March 18th. Okay.
You may be excused until then.
Thank you, sir.
2015-172, State of Arkansas versus Timothy Stangl.
Chris, I don't sure that you all have extended an offer in his case yet.
Well, that's because he's been in the Carroll County Jail.
Okay. So since he's been in jail, are you going to give him credit for time served?
No.
Judge, really don't have any pre-trial issues per se, as the court's aware my client's was being held in Carroll County. We're going to need a plea offer.
I'll put him down for March 4th. That'll be the plea deadline at this point. And if there's any hearings to be held before that March 7th date, we'll take them up then.
Judge, the one thing to let the court aware, I have not had an opportunity to meet with my client because he's been in Carroll County. There is a potential suppression issue, but I have not had the chance to talk to him about that. With the court's indulgence, I'd like to be able to bring that suppression issue to the court's attention on the 4th, and we can schedule for hearing that day, and I'll get my motion in time. But I have to meet with my client because I need to discuss with him how the events unfolded.
Very well.
Okay.
That'll be understandable. If for some reason it can't be done, the court would consider a continuance to allow you time. I know what your schedule's been.
Call the office next week. I've got to come in.
Judge, I know 2 weeks ago we issued an FTA. Is that still outstanding?
Okay. Mr. Stengel, make sure you get in to see Mr. Russo.
Yes, sir.
All right, be back here on March 4th. 2015-180, State of Arkansas versus Christian Alera.
Your Honor, I anticipate that Mr. Alera, he's been screened and approved for drug court. I have an issue that I need to bring up at our next staffing. He's scheduled for trial on the 7th. If we could have him come back on the 4th. I think the drug court team needs to discuss an issue involved with his screening.
All right. We'll order him to reappear in 2 weeks on March 4th. 2016-32, State of Arkansas versus Denise Huddleston.
Your Honor, I'm standing in for Mr. Paisley.
All right. All right, this case is, arraignment was on February 12th. Set down for today, get on a scheduling order. The appears from the file. The arrest date was in August, so the current scheduling order won't work. What was your arrest? August 27th, 2015 is what's listed here. What do we got in June or July?
The week of June the 13th.
All right. I'm setting this matter down for trial the week of June 13th. Pre-trial will be May 27th. And I'm going to order her to reappear May 27th. It's a pre-trial, and I'm going to order her to reappear April 15th to check on the status of the case. Right.
Judge, we have a huge amount of additional discovery to give to Mr. Pasting. I will take it with me and deliver it to them.
Very good. All right. Thank you very much. Your next appearance in court will be that May 15th date.
Thank you.
April 15th.
April 15th.
April 15th. I apologize.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
April 15th. (2016-36) State of Arkansas versus Rachel Wyatt.
Your Honor, I believe we're here today to get on this court scheduling order.
The arrest date in this case appears to be January 15th. Court will set it in accordance with the court scheduling order is September 19th, that week of trials. Pre-trial will be scheduled for August 19th, and the court is ordering her to reappear on May 13th. Anything further to be brought up in this case?
No, Your Honor.
The arrest date was January 15th, 2016. You may be excused.
Preacher, should we just make it where it becomes I always get nervous when I read these stickers and what I see.
We have case 2016-10, State of Arkansas versus, this is a Newton County case, 2016-10, State of Arkansas versus Amanda Munday. I don't have a file on it, but I do have the court's previous order, which the order, that is, of Judge Putman at arraignment on February 12th. She was arraigned, entered a plea of not guilty, and is down for getting on this court's scheduling order. But I don't have any other information in order to determine arrest date.
She was served a warrant on the 5th of February.
So that's Newton County case 2016-10. I didn't make it clear earlier.
And in reading the bench warrant, it was entered into the NCIC system statewide. Therefore, I don't believe she'd been arrested previously.
Okay. What did you say the arrest date then?
February 5th, 2016.
The arrest date of February 5th. I'll set it for by the court's scheduling order for trial the week of September 19th. Pre-trial will be scheduled for August 19th, and she's to reappear on May 13th. All of those will be the dates on her case. Miss Monday, the court would advise you the trial date in September will be in Jasper. That's where you're ordered to appear for that trial. The pre-trial date and the reappearance date that I gave you will be right here in this court.
Okay, and those will be before the trial?
Yes.
Okay.
Those are leading up to the trial. And your next appearance in court then is May 13th here in this courtroom. Stay in touch with your court-appointed attorney. All right? No be excused.
In Court on TKO8 Television is brought to you by Campbell Bonding Company. Even the best of us make mistakes, so when trouble finds you, trust Campbell Bonding Company to help you through what can be a confusing and sometimes frightening experience. Jim, Robert, and Cole Campbell work as a family to offer your family understanding and compassion during a very difficult time. Campbell Bonding Company can help get your family back together quickly and confidentially. And in every step of the process, they're there for you. In times of trouble, let their family help your family. Campbell Bonding Company, 870-741-1138.
KTKO Channel 8 Harrison. Local television worth watching.